Hello everyone. Good afternoon, good morning. Thanks for joining. So this is mainly focusing on 6+ mock interview, and we will not have a questions like tell me about yourself and those kind of questions, because we are targeting to have people and anyone can answer and they can raise the hand. I will give a chance, and if the answer is completely satisfied, then I will go to the next question. If I want to add certain points or I feel that answer is not correct, then I will provide the detailed answer. That is the agenda. And I will try to reduce the questions like what is your latest development for a kind of a question. If possible, I will add it, but most of the things I will try to put a question and expect the answer. So I hope this session will be helpful for the people who are at the 5+ or 6+ years of experience. What kind of questions we can get it and all. And mainly I mentioned videos, right? The questions are not stable, or kind of completely based on the project requirement, the position, what kind of position you apply. All these things will play the role for getting the kind of questions. Okay. So let us go to the questions now. So for example, you are applying for a senior consultant. Let me share my screen. So first we'll mostly the senior consultant you are applying. I hope you can see my screen. You are applying for a senior consultant. So whoever joined for the 5+ or 6+, mostly their position will be senior consultant, or few may call like mostly 6+ years of experience means anyone can get a position as a senior consultant. Few companies may call like they may take you like a team lead, but our focus is on the technical, right? So you are a MM team lead only. MM team lead, or a group of 3 people or 4 people like that. You may be for a 4 people or 3 to 4 people, you may be lead. So I can mention MM team lead, senior consultant, and MM team lead. We try to cover these 2 positions. What kind of questions can come? Okay. Few may be common, and few, when it comes to MM team lead, you may get few questions related to managing team challenges. Okay, those kind of things may come. So the first we will focus on senior consultants. So if you are taking for any kind of implementation or any project, what are the main difference when you work as a consultant and when you work as a senior consultant to handle a project alone or with 2-3 people of your team, or with 3 years, 4 years experience? You are a 6 or 8 or 10 years experience. We can call it as a principal consultant also. Okay, but principal consultant 6+ also they may give, or sometimes they consider 8 to 12 years experience. They consider for a principal consultant. Okay, the first question is, can you tell 3 main differences or major things when you join as a senior consultant or a principal consultant compared to your consultant role, or which you can highlight? These 3 activities will be there for a senior consultant, or these are the qualities one must adopt it. Can you tell any 3 qualities? Yes, Ashish.
Yeah, Ganesh. So actually, if we are playing a senior consultant role, then in that case, first of all, we have to clear vision, like whatever the new change request coming from the business end, we have to understand, and we have to just clarify like that if that thing will be implement or means enhance, how it will be impact to the business and all, and that thing should also deliver to our team how they have to do these things. Okay, first. And second one, we have a skill to manage our team, how can they can solve the ticket and all within the SLA time. These are the key skill required for the senior consultant, as per my understanding. I'm a
those 2 are
senior
correct.
consultant.
Yeah, thanks Ashish. So yeah, those 2, and few things if you want to add it. Generally we come to the don't think directly for a solution. Okay, don't think directly for a solution. Even after getting 10+ years experience also, sometimes we do that mistake. First you check it what kind of business it is, and whether why did they need that solution, why did they need that business requirement. We need to analyze, then only we have to plan for a solution, but not directly think in SAP. Okay, that's the point I want to highlight. We don't have to think directly as an SAP solution. First understand what is the business requirement and what do they want to do like that, and what benefits they are going to get it. That maturity levels also we need to enhance it. And second thing, this impact analysis. Okay, I'm in a support project, and this company went live 4 years before. So if I want to make the solution, what kind of impact is going to happen? Okay, what are the sub processes? Okay, the dependent processes. What are the dependent processes? Dependent processes which I need to consider. For example, if you want to make certain JL account, if the business wanted to make a new moment type creation, why should we need a new moment type? If I want to create a new moment type, what all things I need to consider? They might have some async reports or some other customized BI report or anything where they are maintaining each moment type. We need to include these moment types also. Okay, and if the moment type if you want to create, what are the other existing moment types which can be used to avoid a new moment type creation? Okay, because the reporting also can be used for the existing. So the impact analysis, and don't think directly a solution, especially SAP, because you already work for 6 years, 7 years experience. So SAP influence will be there a lot. Okay, so that is the one thing. And there are two things Ashish has mentioned. So it's an interview. So we need to tell that don't come to the direct solution conclusion, quick conclusion. We need to think about impact analysis. Like Ashish mentioned, we have to drive how to guide the team. Okay, if you have a 60 tickets, you have a 4 people team, and you are maybe working for certain tickets, but how to guide the team, how to manage the SLA. So that those are all new things will come to you. Not you are not individual consultant. Now you are doing 28 to 30% or 40% of the team leading also. So that kind of a thing you have to tell them. So as a consultant, I might have a specific portfolio. Okay, these 10 tickets, I'm only the 10 tickets. But when you're a senior consultant or when you're working as MM team lead and all, any ticket can come to you when it is stuck, or any escalation can come to you as a team lead. So that kind of things you need to like how to manage the team and how to give the solution, how to impact analysis and broader thinking. Okay, impact on other modules. Okay, like other module. If I take this kind of a solution, what all modules I need to discuss first before giving conclusion to the client. We need to buy the time, and we have to tell that yes, it is possible in this way, but based on this business requirement, I need to check with our sales team, our finance team, then I will provide the solution. So that maturity levels we need to show. So technically, if a business is asking you for a change request, okay, so what are the primary steps you will consider? Okay, a change request decided respect to requirement needs a change request. Can you tell based on your experience what are the step by step till go live? Request step by step till go live. So let me tell that. So first of all, you get a requirement, whether you might get incident or a change request. Okay, incident or SR will come. So once you get an incident SR, once you go through the requirement, you come to know that okay, this is not a SR. We need certain kind of program changes and certain kind of new configuration. So these and all. So you tell the business that okay, this cannot be SR. We must go with a change request. First of all, we will ask them to create request for proposal. Okay. So I'm using the terminologies based on ITIL. Okay, ITIL. And if based on your tool, for example, if you are using ServiceNow or IT Direct or SAP Solution Manager, based on that, the terminologies may be a little different. First, we okay, and then we convert the RFP to RFC. So when you convert, before converting RFP to RFC, that RFP we have to tell them, provide your business requirement. Provide your business requirement, then you will prepare a solution proposal document. We call solution proposal or solution document. After that, you will prepare quotation for the respective cost, because in the solution proposal, you are going to provide what all mandates. Okay, what are the mandates and the cost. So these all we need to prepare. Once the quotation is prepared, you will start development. It can be a config or program change, config, program change, those things. After that, after development, you will do UT. Then maybe if there is any training required, you will conduct training and UAT. So here, if the multiple systems are conducted, you will do the SIT also. If it is only alone one, you can do UT and directly go for a UAT. So after doing SIT, test script preparation and all like our implementation process. After UAT is completed, then go live preparation. So in the go live preparation, the TR list, and updating config document, configuration document, and the FS final based on changes, FS or TS updates, all these checklists. Then go live. Then hypercare based on your company guidelines and all. 1 month or 3 weeks, hypercare will be there. After that, will be closure. Once the closure is completed, the billing, the cost which we decided at this stage, right, quotation stage, the billing will be done at this stage. So this is the last step, ending, and the first step will be start. Okay, so you have to tell them it's interview, right? Okay, that will have around 10 steps. Can I tell the each step? Means yes, you can tell. I will listen. If he says like that, then you tell from here. Quickly try to elaborate in 3 minutes or 2.5 minutes to complete the answer, or 4 minutes. So if he says like no need, you just tell me at high level. So how will be started and remaining? Then you can tell that yes, we'll ask business to create a request for proposal, or based on that we will make the solution proposal document. Then we follow our regular process of development, testing, and verification. Then we'll make a go live preparation, and then we move the changes to the production. After 1 month of hypercare, we will close the ticket, and the finance will do the billing. Whatever the team is responsible, they will do the billing. You can cut short and tell in 30-40 seconds. So if you first we have to answer because it's not about the junior consultant level, right? Definitely they will explain about your understanding. See, if I ask you the question that what is the strategy? Okay, so whenever you do this kind of a go live preparation, what are the main checklist in a go live preparation? Can someone explain the go live preparation checklist? Whether you are doing an implementation project or a major change request or a mini project, what are the key go live checklist? Can someone explain?
Hi Ganesh, can you explain?
Yeah, please.
Yes, the first and foremost thing, if there is any change request that is coming in, we have to prepare a proof of concept document. If at all client doesn't want to have it directly in the development system, we do the proof of concept document in form of.
Jahnavi, my question is about only the go live preparation checklist.
Okay, so if there is any FSD document that we had prepared, we had to upload that in the SharePoint file where the client required. And if the FUT and SIT has been done, so all those test results have to be captured. And if there is any work instruction that client require for the new configuration or new implementation or any enhancement that we have done, so that work instruction file also has to be prepared. And if there is any training required, we have to give the training as well to the end user. And then all the TRs, whatever we have to update that in the file where the basis team will capture the TRs in that file. So we have to update the basic that file.
Yeah, I think you answered most of the questions. So first of all, already we prepared the UT and SIT and UAT. So we need to ensure that all the documents are attached with proper signature, because based on the audit, all will have a proper signature. That verification attachments are done or not. Is there any regression testing is required? Your changes are going to impact in the existing processes. We must provide the regression test results with respect to signature and all. So regression test, this one, the configuration document is updated. Configuration document and FS and TS are updated. The company is following strictly about the TS also, then you need to go with TS. At least the FS program changes are updated or not. That needs to be ensured. And the TR list and sequence, we must ask that member, have you given the TR in sequence or not? So that properly we need to verify. And also in the TR, whether they made any wrong configuration. That is little difficult to do it, but as part of the governance point of view, they verify that also. So for example, I'm working for a GKP1 plant related only changes. But in the TR, when you're verifying, you found something related to 8001 plant. Okay, by mistake, he made changes to that plant also. Okay, when you're making some location change or some MRP parameter, or else you are making any plant specific configuration changes, by mistake you changed the valuation class related GL account, something related to 8001. You found in the TR, then that object needs to be split. If you go to our YouTube channel, how to split a TR object, I explained. So we need to tell that. So that's part of the verification. So finally, the TR window, when you want to move, these changes are any critical. For example, when you're working for any mainly the WM related program changes and all, WM will run for 24/7. but what time is the best time? 6 to 7 is the dinner time for them, or 7 to 8. So let's plan that time so that anything little bit runtime error or a certain TRs are getting issue, the team will be available to monitor and do it. If some issue comes also, immediately we can attend. So TR window is very important. So at what time we have to move it. If it is no, it's a completely new program, no impact to anything, then you can take a little bit more what you call confident to move at any point of time. The TR window also we have to decide based on the criticality of the changes. So these are the checklist. So these checklist, if you remember 3-4 checklist, you can tell, or if you remember all, you can tell based on the interviewer and his interest and time you need to do it. It's not something like you have to tell all the points. 3-4 points, if you're telling confidently, he will get automatically that yes, he has the knowledge, so it's fine. So that impression we need to give. How you're conveying your confidence in the interview, that plays a key role, right? So yeah. So you will not get, when you go for 6 years, 8 years experience and all, right, the questions will not be straightforward mostly, the scenario-based question, or else something related to how you handle your regular work. That only will be there. So if anyone worked on MRP related, what is the new thing in S4 HANA SAP has released it for MRP? And can you tell any 3 key changes in that respect to MRP? Can someone explain? So, for example, if you take the differences wise, classic MRP and MRP Live. So this is in S4 HANA, the new thing was added. This is in ECC, but ECC and S4. Although SAP introduced MRP Live in S4 HANA, it didn't remove classic MRP. It is still available. That point everybody has to understand. So they may remove in few years and all, but for now they are managing both classic MRP and the MRP Live. That's the first answer. What are the key differences you want to highlight means MRP, classic MRP can only do single plant, but here you can run for multiple plants at once. Here also we have a scope of planning. Okay, here also you can have a scope of planning where you can combine multiple. So, but SAP has removed the scope of planning in S4 because you can input multiple plants at once. Okay, let me. Okay, MD01. Here we have a scope of planning. Earlier in ECC wise, we used to this scope of planning. You can combine 10 plants into one scope of planning. Okay, but in MD01N /O MD01N, SAP has removed the scope of planning because you have an option to input multiple plants at once. Okay. So that's the thing. Still you have a scope of planning can be used. Scope of planning, but here no more scope of planning. It's not required because we have multiple plans. This one is MD01 and transaction is MD01N. We run, most of you are working in MRP, we run in the midnight. We run in midnight or a low regular operations, low operation time. It can run anytime.
Sir, what is the functionality behind the scope of planning? Like, what is exactly MRP we do in scope of planning?
For example, scope of planning I used in ECC. One example I can tell. So we have 10 plants. Okay.
Okay.
One is my main plant. One is main procurement plant, and 9 are always do STO from my main plant.
Okay.
Okay. So how is creating one scope of planning for 9 plants, and second I'm running for my plant level. So when I run my MRP, for example 3 AM I'm running for scope of planning so that all requirements will be generated. At 4 AM I run for my plant. so that these STRs, stock transport requisitions, also will be considered while running for my plan, so that I will get a more purchase requisitions. So scope of planning is mainly for, I think let us directly go from here also. So if you go to the scope of planning, define scope of planning. You can do in consumption-based planning or MRP. You can combine multiple plans into one number. It's alphanumeric. You can create. See here, define scope of planning for total planning. So if you want to run 10 plans, for example, see here, you can assign multiple plans to the scope of planning. Understand? In ECC, if you want to run 10 plans, not main plan. For example, if you want to run 10 plans, you have every night or weekly once you want to run for 10 plans at once. Do you want to create 10 jobs or one job you want to create? So that scope of planning is to help for you to combine 10 plans into one scope of planning. But in S4 HANA, SAP has removed because no need to combine. The configuration of scope of planning is no more required. Yeah, you can directly give it. Okay? That's the thing. You can tell about these differences, and if you want to add minimum, but in interview I think 4 or 5 are enough, and I'm going to make the videos related to these kind of a thing. Okay. So for example, MRP. Earlier we used to get MRP list, but now MRP list is not required. So for example, /MD01. Okay. So when system is getting the first MRP list used to come, but now no more MRP list. You can combine here. So no more MRP list. Okay. So MRP list, and also when you are running ECC, when you run MRP, system will get a one kind of a pop-up and show the result. But here we will directly get output. No more showing result and all. So the simulation mode kind of a thing is not available. So there are many differences are there. You can remember 3 differences, and you can mention that one. Okay. So the simulation is not available in ECC, in classic MRP, but MRP live simulation is not available. Okay. So you can prepare for 3-4 things, and then you can directly prepare for that. So the MRP controller. Earlier MRP controller was not available in classic MRP. You can see here. If really someone wanted to run MRP at the MRP controller level, we have to do the enhancement only. But now in S4 HANA MRP live, MRP controller is already added in that. Okay. So I think 5 differences we explained. That's enough. More differences, I will make a dedicated video of MRP live where you can use it. Okay. So let us go to the next question. Okay, you created a PO, material price $100 and quantity 20 pieces. Okay. And also you have price $10. Same pieces. You received the stock, everything is completed. Now you want to create a written PO. Okay, written PO. So can you explain how will you handle that freight amount when you are doing the written PO? What are the key things you have to consider amount, and what is the SAP standard behavior for freight? Freight means for us it's a delivery costs. Okay, how can you know that whether it is a delivery cost or not? We always use this /M/06. For example, FR A1. Okay, this one. The condition category is delivery cost, means it will have a special features. I will ask one more question about that. For written PO, what is the main difference you see when I want to return 2 pieces with written PO? Can someone explain how will be the pricing process, the condition tab in the PO? Can someone explain conditions tab in written PO? Yes, Vaibhav, can you answer?
Sir, for return PO, we have to create the PO with the return tick. But if you want to handle this, then at the time of return PO, everything condition price it's come into negative. So we have at the time of account entry, sir, maybe the trade added into material price. So whenever the first process that freight is added in the that material price, then at the time of return PO automatically exists when we added the freight at that time. So means 2000 means that freight added in the material price, sir, at the time of means GRM. So 2020.
Okay, I was expecting the main answer. Okay, so negative will become because what happened based on SAP standard, even the freight guidelines wise or even SAP made it in a way that retail price will become $200 minus. Okay, but freight cannot be negative during return PO. That is the why I asked this question. If it is a straightforward negative like a surcharges and all, I wouldn't have asked for a 6+ years experience. Okay, freight cannot be negative. So you may expect the freight will be -10. Okay, maybe you want to give $2. Okay. What are the freight amount? Freight amount, let's take it $2 you wanted to give, but it cannot be -$2. It is not possible because it's a delivery cost. Delivery cost cannot be negative in return PO. That's why when you're sending, you will send a $200 negative. But based on the agreement, if really you wanted to have certain negative amount and all, you have to use any surcharges. You might have some other surcharges, right? Which is not a delivery cost. Just now I showed you condition category is not delivery cost. That you can give and put -$2. If you want to charge that amount to your vendor, okay, you want to get back that $2, then you have to select any other condition which is surcharges for which the condition category is not delivery cost. For example, we might have some surcharges, right? SAP standard one. Okay, you might have maybe any other kind of a surcharges. Yeah, your condition category is blank. You can take it. $2 you are going to get from your vendor. Okay, that's what my question. During return PO, freight cannot be negative. If you really give a freight, it will become happen -200 plus 2, it will be $198. Okay. So freight cannot be negative in return PO. If you really wanted to charge $202 from your vendor, you must use any other condition type which is related to surcharges or anything, not delivery cost. I hope you got the answer.
Sir, one more question. So, how it is impact to the material price? Means if we added that negative price in, means the surcharges in negative. So, at the time of account entry, how it's impact?
Yeah, because the amount is reducing, right? It will impact. Whenever you deal with a quantity, okay, when you deal with quantity and amount, definitely it will impact your MAP. MAP will be impacted. Okay. Quantity and amount when you're making that one. Even certain kind of transactions where you are dealing with amount also. For example, GR is posted for $100, but invoice is posted for $105. This also will impact your MAP. IR. Because you are going to have this 10, you are increasing, that will load into your material cost. So for your question, answer is MAP will be impacted. Okay. Can someone tell me the key differences between written with written PO and written with same PO? Written with written PO and written with same PO. Can you tell me 3 differences? It can be benefits or anything you can tell. See, if you follow me on LinkedIn, I think this is mainly I posted many times. Written PO with same PO and written with written PO and written with same PO. Okay. What are the key 3 differences? Vaibhav?
I think, sir, in return PO, moment type 161 directly come with the.
Just want to correct, when you go with 6-8 years experience interview, these movement types and all try to give a last priority. If you don't remember anything, you give the movement type. More about talk about the business process method and all. Yeah, please continue. Hi.
Yeah, Return for return PO, there is a difference between cost. Means if you want to return with same PO, that material will go with the same cost, and only with the return PO by using 161 moment type, whichever cost we will decide with the vendor, on that basis we will return.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the difference which I basically. Second
Please.
thing is regarding movement type 161 and 122.
Yeah. So one is different cost you can go and same cost, and here any other charges can be added. For example, just now given in the earlier example, if you want to manage the freight, you can go with any surcharges, you can manage it. Correct? So those and all benefits are available here because you have new PO where you can give the any other charges can be added, but here must go with reference GR. Must go with reference GR, and yeah, we will go to that moment type 161. Moment type 161 here. Moment type 122 or 120. Another tracking. Okay. Tracking is not that easy. Tracking is not proper. Against original PO. Correct? Original PO you cannot track, but here you can track properly. PO history can be used to track. PO history can be used to track. Like table wise also we have EKBE tables. Tracking wise, this is written with same PO is very good. So yeah, these kind of things you can mention: moment type, tracking, and difference and all. Different cost is the main asset for here, and the tracking is the main asset for same PO. I think these 4 examples changes are enough. Benefits of routines in pricing and output management. Can someone explain what is the use of routine? Yes, Rakesh.
Sir, so this routine is if we have a requirement like for any condition type, if we have any further filtration or validation, we can ask ABAP to write a small code, and they will write a code and they will give us a number. So that number we can assign in the requirement field. So that is called a routine.
Okay. So let me give an example. Interviewers, what we tell, if there is a customized or if any kind of a calculation which is not standard. So what is standard? We have a gross price of $100, discount of 10% means $10, and some surcharges which will be loaded on net price. This is standard setup is there. But if there is a requirement has come from the business, I want to calculate this freight not on the net inclusive tax. I want to calculate this freight on combination of gross price plus net tax and average something, any complex requirement. If you want to directly calculate the freight percentage on this one, net inclusive discount without tax, then we will give the 20. If you want to calculate with tax, then 21. Okay, you can give directly. But if there is a requirement which is having kind of a calculation which is not straightforward, you can give 20, 21. Then we are going to use this column called requirement. Okay. The requirement only, the routine. If you see, SAP has given some standard routines. First, when you get a requirement which you are not able to do in SAP standard, we need to explore based on the text. Any routine can be useful. Okay, a similar kind of a routine we will give to a BAP, or you will give try with 30 or test how is the behavior of the calculation. If it is matching, then you can directly give 30 and do your completion without a BAP. But if you're not able to achieve, then we will ask a BAP. So a BAPper will write a small code. For example, if you go here, export business, and click on this source text, simple code will be there. 5 lines, 6 lines code. These are all SAP standard routines. For your customer's requirement, the ABAP will create with a new number, maybe 99 or whatever. He will create a small code like this, and that number you will give. For example, SAP numbers are there till here and all. You will create a new number. That number we need to assign. So in interview, what you have to do, routines or like a requirement numbers in pricing procedure. SAP has given list of routines which can be used as per the requirement. If the standard routines are not applicable for any business requirement, then ABAP will create a requirement number, and that number will be assigned to whatever where I want to have a customized calculation. That is the routines. We use routines mainly in the pricing procedure, and also we use the routines in any output type procedure. It can be MM purchase order output procedure, or inventory output procedure, or delivery. I have taken the example of delivery here. For example, sometimes what happens, the business wanted to take a printout after goods issue, but not before that. Okay, when the delivery is created, output type should not be triggered. It should be triggered only after goods issue is posted. If you have such kind of requirement, then use this 101 kind of SAP standard. If the SAP standard is completely not possible, then same logic you have to write in the coding what he will write. 101 we use for after goods issue kind of a thing. So you have to write the logic. Okay, when to take a printout. Goods issue is posted and billing also printed, then only you want to print. Then the code will be written, check the delivery and check the VBFO, whatever the table, and verify goods issue is posted and billing also posted. Once all are completed, you can trigger this output. So that much story he will write in that code. Then you will assign in your procedure for your condition type, you assign that number. So the number will behave in the same way. So LQCB will not trigger when the delivery is created. It will only trigger when the delivery related billing also completed. So you can explain in a 2-3 context, you can take it and explain. So those are the importance of the routines, how we are going to use it. You can watch the video. Anyway, I will share the link. So here, certain interviews will go for 1.5 hours also. Okay, they may ask only 5-6 questions or 10 questions, 15 questions. It's not like the junior level. Lot of questions, gunshot questions will come. You will get a requirement. You have to explain what is your understanding. The question answer should not be like a by-hearted one. So of course, so the interview will be have a little bit elaborated only. They will also listen how you are explaining, how much command you have on the concept. So you got one issue, and the user has told that I cannot post invoice with Miro. Okay. Who is responsible, MM or FI, and how will you take further for the solution? You got a ticket, cannot post invoice with Miro without seeing the screenshot error and all. Who will be the primary responsible, and how will be the further process will happen when you get a real-time ticket? Karan.
Yeah, it is based on the error. Basically, if we don't know the error, then we cannot decide this is for MM or FI. But basically, while doing my role, that is FI side, according to me. Because mostly the invoicing
so most
part
of the
will
cases
do
what
only
happen? No. When there is Miro will happen against the PO most. Correct? So the primary responsible will be MM. So first MM has to take it, because that Miro invoice means it is related to our P2P cycle. Okay. So when you go through the issue, first he will take the responsibility. He will verify whether it is related to any GR balances or any other thing. He will analyze. If it is triggering something related to tax amount or some kind of controlling cost element, the GL is not a cost element, some FI flavor, then he has to communicate with FI and get it done. But if you say the overall thing, right, Miro, the responsibility is with MM only. He will coordinate, but he will take the responsibility. Because they FB60, you know, right? FB60. How many of you know? This is the direct invoice in accounts payable. For this one, 100% is FI is responsible. Invoice without PO or anything, if you directly want to pay to your vendor, you can create FB60. But when it comes to Miro, the primary responsibility will be MM. If the issue is triggering certain kind of related data, then only you have to work with FI. If it is related to our GR amount or some differences, or tax code is the selected tax code through IDOC, it is coming and the tax code has come wrong, So any kind of a thing, first analysis should be done by MM consultant. Is it clear? So if it is FB60, then it's a whole responsibility, vendor invoice. That's why we have two types of vendor invoices mainly. One is the vendor invoice without any PO, whole and sole responsibility with FI. But when it comes to Miro, the responsibility will be with incoming invoice, because all the reference documents are related. Okay, so we will end this session with one more question, and we can plan one more session if required in the future based on the questions and feedback. So how can you decide whenever you get a SAP consultant, you are interviewing a consultant position? Okay. Consultant, you are interviewing a person or a skills you are checking. So when you are checking these kind of a skills, a person who is working as a support, okay, he has to handle the support consultant. Can you explain what are the 3 primary skills you will expect from the consultant? Consultant for a support project. What are the 3 parameters you check during interview? Okay, this candidate is suitable for my project. He may be 3 to 5 years experience. You are at the 6 to 8. Can you tell 3 points? See, you are recruiting for support. That's a problem. Even I was telling with multiple HRs whenever I interact. Most of you know that last 8 years I didn't change the company. My latest interview was in July 2017. I think the next year I'll complete 8 years for my first latest. So I interact with multiple HR. When you want to take a support consultant, why do you keep end-to-end implementation is mandatory? Okay. So these and all. Maybe they may put it like, one reason is they get the JD from the previous HR or previous any senior consultant. They just follow blindly. Second thing is they want to use, if we have a vacancy in support, we will use for support, or else we want to implementation. That's the one thing, right? I can use anywhere. That is the one of the reason. But if you strictly know that this position is only for support project, then you don't have to highlight this end-to-end. So when you do the interview, first of all, you see what is his skills in SAP MM, what is his primary skills and how much command he has, and experience in support project. Support project experience. What kind of experience you are going to check it? Time management. This is very important, right? In a support project. SLA. Priority. If the P1 ticket has come in, P2 ticket has come, how to prioritize. And more is acknowledgement. This is a lot of importance in a support project. First, you have to acknowledge your user. Yes, I'm working on your ticket. Based on the priority, I will connect you to 2 days. This acknowledgement is the, like I can say, it is missing in most of the consultants, so that they don't have visibility. The users don't have visibility who is working, whether he has seen my ticket or not, or that kind of a things we are getting. Of course, you accept your ticket and get a notification or inform in this ticket, you will have a conversation, right, where you can communicate. Yes, I'm working on the ticket, I'm analyzing, I will get back to you. So these are all we need to check it. What is his skills in support project and skills in SAP MM and communication skills. Communicate. It should not be always best or something like that. If you are working for New Zealand or UK, how will be their communication? How to handle? If you are working with Thailand or Vietnamese, how to handle that communication? If you are working with India and a few other English well-spoken countries, like how to handle that? So if you are working with India and Singapore and these kind of a clients, so based on that, how to manage the communication skills? You cannot apply the same strategy for everyone. You talk slowly. Here you can talk your way of communication. Here you need to talk a little bit better to pronunciate, to understand. Okay, so communication skills, support project experience, and skills in SAP MM. You don't have to check your the project is ECC. You may not give the top priority his S4HANA skills. You can check it the last priority. What is his understanding in S4HANA? Any end-to-end implementation experience he has or not. You can give as the last priority. If he is very good in these 3, you can take it. So that is the important when you go for a senior level and when you conduct interviews. What is my requirement? What skills he has? What is the attitude he is showing? What is the understanding levels? Make him to pop up, make him or her in 3 months or 2 months. Can he pop up or not? So those things we need to consider. It should not be like asking some critical questions or whatever you in your mind and all. Based on the requirement, we need to evaluate the candidate and you have to hire it. So if you are already doing that, it's good. And many of you maybe 5+, 6+, and you may go for a mega drive or interview conducting. Please consider what is the requirement, what does the way of expressing everything is good or not, whether you can make him to understand better and manage it. So these things you can consider. So that's it. If you have any kind of inputs about this group mock interview for 6+ experience, please put a point. Maybe you can send an email or you can add the points. Definitely for the next session, I will consider those points. Okay. Yes, Rajan.
Yeah, hi, Ganesh. Yeah, that was a very
Yes.
productive and very interesting conversation we had. Actually, I have one question. Like, if suppose we did a very complex scenario and we have developed some validation in the system, and that validation and that program working perfectly in the dev environment, but whenever we deploy it in the prod environment, we are getting some glitch. And whenever we
quality?
try to
And
Yeah,
when you
in
move to quality, you got a glitch. Okay.
No, quality it's also working fine, but when we move it to a prod environment, production environment, we are getting sometimes glitch. Sometime like if it's a approval workflow, then it will not go as per planning. And when we again create some like replicate the use case, and again it is working fine on the UT and sandbox also. And we also interact with the technical developer. They are saying it's working fine our side, and whenever we replicate that, we also saying that it's working fine from our side. But in production environment, sometimes we are facing some issue. So how to mitigate that, and how we can handle this type of the issue?
Yeah. It's a pure generic one. So I can add few points for this situation. First of all, that's why companies plan for the production to quality client copy. You might know about the client copy. Even the purchase orders also will be copied. This has to be done at least 1 to 2 years once. Okay. So here what happens, for example, you did the production copy on 25th June. I'm giving my birth date, 25th June, 2025. So you will have entire production data, configuration, master data, transaction data, everything will come to your quality system. Okay. Maybe if I touch the system, if I see the system after 10 days or 15 days, little bit junk will be started because people will play with different testing. But at least you will have it. So how to mitigate, you are telling, right? First mitigation will be 1 to 2 years based on your volume and all. Try to do a frequent production to quality client copy so that your quality testing will be more accurate because it is almost similar to your production system. Okay, 90% similar, or 95 or 98. First thing. Second thing, whenever you move changes, right? Move changes to quality. Perform testing with more realistic data. And do volume testing also. So what is volume testing? You can do for not just create 2 lines of PO or creating some report with 1 week data, 10 days data, 1 month data like that. You go for a 1 year data or 6 months data, 3 months data, so that surprises will be less in production. Okay. So talk to the business. Can you give me that exactly this process will be using in import scenario or domestic scenario? Can you give me 10 materials which you generally use this kind of a condition, this kind of a process? Test with that realistic data, so that it will help you to reduce that surprises when you go to the production. Okay. So that is the one thing. Third one, of course, in production, you have to do get the debugging access. Okay. If you are confident, not able to replicate in quality, you have to do the production debugging to identify the root cause. Okay. It can be, you can find it what is missing. And another important point I want to highlight, maintain a checklist. This is a good habit I have. Whenever I work on implementation, or I can show you my checklist sometime in any video. I maintain the proper checklist. What all checklist I maintain? Configuration, client specific maintenance will be there, right? Like certain tables maintained with SM30, not tier based, or you can popular our CL20 kind of a thing, those kind of a things, and then master data. I maintain a checklist. I put it like this: quality and production. I put it in quality, completed. So I will ensure the same thing in production also. If you don't have this kind of checklist, quality may maintain 10, production may be 9. You will find only the. So these are the few things we can do it. Production debugging is the thing. This is in our hand, top 1 priority, because we can do this. And second, this is the one, more relevant data used for testing. This one is not in our hand. Third is debugging. Fourth is not in our hand, because whenever you want to do a client copy from production to quality, the quality has to be based on your size of like how many company codes in your system. It may take 1 week, 5 days, 8 days. 8 days your quality server will not be available, so that any urgent CR, anything, you cannot test it. Then you have to allocate a separate system. So this is not an easy task. It needs time, budget, everything. So few companies may do once in 2 years and all. That's why I gave the 4th priority. So these are the few steps we can follow to avoid those kind of surprises. I hope you got it. Yes, Suchitra, right.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. I think she is normal. Yeah. Thanks again to all of you for joining, and you give your inputs and all. For the next group mock interview, I will definitely connect. Yeah. Thank you. And I think I never asked for these kind of a job openings also in 8 years. I asked only for other people, but I keep asking for our ratings on Udemy. And yeah, you can give ratings on Udemy and keep sharing our videos with all of your circle. For this group mock interview or my coming S4 HANA content, I already announced certain kind of a data. You can share your inputs if anything I want to cover. Thanks again to all of you, and we'll connect with one more mock interview. Thank you. Bye-bye.